Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is the second part of the save file build that I did for Dorris Lister and her home. So in this video, it shows just the speed build of the interior, so the renovations, what I did inside, the kind of vibe that I went for. So the main vibe within this house is older, like that older vibe. She's an old lady, so the decor, the items, everything, I just wanted them all to have like that older feel to it, you know. So I went sort of simpler colours really most places, because I just wanted to sort of convey that vibe, because I feel like she wouldn't go all out. So what I did first was figure out all of the wallpapers, the floor, where I wanted things really. And I decided that the kitchen could go in this little nook and then do like a living space. And then the rest of it would sort of flow down the back of the house. Originally I was going to put the bedroom all the way to the bottom, but I wanted a back door into the back garden, so that ruined that vibe for me. So that's why I ended up changing it, so that it had a back door. This kitchen at first stressed me out because I didn't know how I was going to do the floor plan for the cooker and for the sink, because I couldn't figure out where it would look best. Because I knew I wanted the sink underneath the window, and then I was stuck with the idea of the cooker going next to the fridge, and I hate that. I really, really hate that. I think in the end I swap the sink for the cooker. So the sink goes next to the fridge and the cooker goes under the window. I can't remember what I ended up doing. I just know that it ended up frustrating me. Or do I leave it on the end? Oh, I don't know. I can't remember if I leave it on the end or not. If I leave it there, I don't know. In the end, I was happy with it though. I think I'll leave it like that, and I quite liked that. In my head, I think I thought about changing the locations because it was stressing me out that it was against that wall, and then it was stressing me out that it would be next to the fridge. I hate the idea of that. But I like this little layout. She only got a little small kitchen, but I think that works for her. I think it fits with her vibe. Again, with the lighting, I kind of wanted these sconces so that it was a little bit more like dated almost, instead of all these like modern light fixtures and like the saucer lights. I always use the saucer lights, and I just wanted to do something different. So that's why I went with those. So whilst this build is going on, because you can see what's happening, I don't need to see a real running commentary fully, but I just want to say a massive thank you to anyone who followed me over on Twitch. So on Wednesday I went live as usual, and we hit 50 followers. So I ended up with 50 followers. We now have the ability for VIP badges. We're slowly moving up in the ranks and doing amazing, and it was absolutely incredible. And I just want to say that I completely appreciate everybody and everything that everyone has done for me to get me to where I am now. I genuinely, in no way, shape or form, thought that I would end up in this situation. I genuinely thought that it was just going to be something that I'd do, and it would just be me and a camera and maybe a couple of viewers every so often, and that'd be it. So the fact that I've got the 50 followers and people really enjoy watching me, it feels incredible. It really does. It just feels incredible. So yeah, thank you. That's the main thing that I wanted to say, was thank you very, very much. And I wanted to take the opportunity to do it in this video. If you did tune into the stream, you will have seen that there was a sneaky little input for Dorris that is not in this speed build. I did it off of camera. I then showed it off on stream. So if you were there at the stream, you listened it live. If you weren't, the stream is now uploaded to YouTube, so you will be able to see it back. But definitely have a look at that so that you can spy and see the other details about Dorris that was left out of this video. It's definitely worth it, I promise you. So like I said, back to Dorris. Like I said, I wanted this to have like an oldie feel vibe, and make you feel like you're in an older lady's home when you walked in. These chairs, obviously they're a little bit more modern, but I liked the simplicity of them, but also the pillows and stuff. That's why I sort of liked this, and it looked comfortable, and she would have a comfortable sofa. So that's why I picked that. Again, with the welcome mats and stuff, I love putting welcome mats in. I used to forget to put them in front of the door, but we all have them, so why not put them? So that's why I did that. And as you can see, she has like the old telly. I didn't want anything in this house to be ultra modern. That was the feel. Anytime I picked anything, I was like, but does it have that vibe? Does it fit the older aesthetic that I'm trying to achieve? That's what I was trying to figure out. I also didn't know if some of her secrets, because at this point I didn't fully know what her storyline was. I was just building, and if I found certain objects or if I got a certain like mind a thought, then I would, roll with that. So at this point I didn't know exactly what her secrets and stuff would be, but I knew I wanted it to have some secrets. So you see me place this fairy hat of like fairy doll thing, and at first I was like, would it be cool if she was like a secret fairy and no one knew, and she just had a random fairy house in the garden? But then I scrapped that idea for what I actually did. So yeah, but I thought that I didn't know that I wanted to have sort of some kind of like mystery about her. And that was the first one that I thought of. That's why I put that there, but I kept it there. I think it's cute. I think it is a cute item. I think it makes sense that she would have something like that. I don't know. So I kept it anyway. And I put the old timey phone on the side as well. Like, obviously it's not functional in the game. But she'd have one. She'd have one. So I had to do it. So these pictures are on the wall. Some of them kind of I sort of thought of, and I was like, oh, that could make sense for her storyline. Others were just to fill the space. And again, I tried to keep with that sort of vibe. I did sort of collage moments on here and on another wall in the hallway and in her bedroom. Because I don't know, like it feels like that's something like an older lady would have. It doesn't necessarily make sense, to be fair, that now that I've said that, but I think that's where my mindset was. I was like, she's likely to have those as opposed to like just the odd picture dotted everywhere, because it gives it a more cluttered effect without it being cluttered. So that's why I did that. I knew I wanted like a bookcase here, and I knew that, but I couldn't find one that fit the aesthetic that was skinny enough because I didn't want it to look like it was shoved in. So in the end, do I stick with these? I can't remember if I stick with these. I think I do. I stick with them. I put them in the middle, and then I put some stuff on top, and a mirror, so that you've got that kind of like reading area, because she should have books. I feel like she's an avid reader, and enjoys her books. So I made sure that she had that space. And again, I just wanted it to feel lived in, feel cluttered, but not like too cluttered so that it looks like she's sort of messy. I wanted it to be like still quite clean and quite prim and quite proper. I feel like she gives off that vibe, and I feel like if anybody came visiting, they would look at this house and be like, oh, poor little Dorris, isn't she cute? Isn't Dorris cute? Yeah, I removed this door. I realised once I was doing the interior that it looked really messy because it's like more of a ruggedy door, and I was like, no, I don't like that. It'd be pretty. So I changed it out for the one that has the mirror. Not mirror at all, window. I changed it out for the one that had the window in it, because I figured that was better. So yeah, this is me just trying to figure out what clutter items to put in her house, because like I said, I was trying to figure out ones that were like older in vibe. Again with the gnomes. That was partially because I was still fixated on like the fairy storyline. So that's why there's a lot of gnomes. But also, I think it's cute for us to have gnomes because she is a garden person. So it does make sense anyway. So I did keep them in. They are in the build still. But that's why they were originally put there. And then I was like, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So I do this, all of this. But you won't see that I actually move that to the other side and the door goes on to the left. You will see it in the stream that it is that way around if you watch the stream, but you won't, like, in this video it'll stay like that because I edited it to sort out like the extra bits, the extra details. Also, this little fishing thing, I saw that's when everything changed because I decided that was her husband. Because I said obviously in the first one that he was a fisherman and he was out all the time and he was away on the boats, and when he died they didn't have any children because he'd spent all of his years on the boat and she had been without and blah blah blah. So you know that from the last video. So that's sort of where that mindset came from, because I saw that item and I was like, yeah. Yeah, he's a fisherman, that's her husband. So when I envision is her husband, that's who I envision. If I was to create him, then obviously I would base him off of that, but I don't think I'm going to create him because obviously he's died and I don't know if I want to have to figure out how to put ghosts in the neighbourhood without them actually being in the neighbourhood. Do you know what I mean? So I put these blinds everywhere because I was struggling to find the right blind or curtain, but you know how it is with The Sims. This bathroom, honestly, I changed the layout like 3 times, I think, because I couldn't find a layout that I was happy with and that also there would be definite access. I realised that I made it quite small and I was a little bit stressed about that. I think in the end, I can't remember if I put the toilet, if I leave the toilet there where it is now, because I tested it to see if she could use it and she can't use it with the sink there, but I knew that she could use it with the toilet there. So I changed it around to this layout instead. But I prefer it like this. But I definitely wanted to have a bath and not a shower. At first I wanted to see if I could figure out the shower being over the bath and her use both, but I can't figure out how to do that and do it successfully. So I just left that idea and decided to just have a bath. I think out of the 2, she would have a bath. So I gave her a bath. And then obviously I gave her some towels. Again, I always made sure that everything was sort of not run down, but older feeling. And it felt like an older lady was living here, you know? So we're just moving on to the bedroom now. This is the last room in the house. Like I said, it's just a small home. It's just her in this little home. So obviously it's not going to be big. There's not going to be loads of stuff going on. But in the end, I sort of made her bedroom more simple. There's a chest of drawers, a bed, and some pictures on the wall. I think there's like a chair and a mirror as well in here. But that's it, really. There's nothing other details in here. It's just sort of simple, but I love the simplicity of it, to be honest. So I'm gonna let this speed build run a little while I sort of talk your ear off for the last few minutes of this video. But yeah, as I mentioned before, we have reached 50 followers on Twitch. So if you want to check us out over there, I will be streaming again on Wednesday at 7 p.m. UK time. And hopefully we are one step further to reaching affiliate level. All we have to do is stream one more time and also get an average of 3 viewers on 2 more streams. So in the next couple of times we should reach affiliate level, which is so exciting. I can't believe it. It's so incredible. And also when I do stream, there's a little bit of a surprise because there might be some other perks that have come my way, and I definitely want to give to the community and to specific people. So yeah, if you want to check us out over on Twitch on Wednesday, please come along and join us over there. It's a great bunch of people and everyone's really fun and we have a laugh and enjoy each other's company. And that's basically all we do the entire stream. So yeah, come and check us out and enjoy us. And give me a follow. I just want to grow the channel, this channel, my social media. So make sure you go and follow me on all of my social media. It is all linked in my bio on here. So is my Twitch. So if you want to check me out, please do come and give me a follow. Come and join the crazy lot that's over there. And yeah, I will leave you with the rest of this speed build. It's almost over. So thank you all again for the follows, for the love, for the attention. I love it. I love you all. Thank you all. And have a brilliant day. Bye.